the magical mystery tour, and he said that Liverpool was his number one. His great-grandparents are from Liverpool. You know, there's this big row going on. And finally, the BBC tweeted, Mark Hamill declares himself a Wolverhampton fan. And all I said was, someone tweeted me asking if I liked the Wolves. I liked it, thinking he meant the animal. And I finished the tweet by saying, now they're my favorite team I've never heard of. I love that joke. It's a variation of an old joke Neil Simon wrote, where, you know, were there any famous people? Famous people? I was the only one there I'd never heard of. I use lines that have never left me, but I tend to make sure I credit it was Neil Simon, not me. But you'll recognize, you know, plagiarized humor all throughout my Twitter feed. Although I have to really rethink it, because now my daughter Chelsea said, don't talk about this, but I got hacked about 2 weeks ago. That's where you go, and all of a sudden your picture's down, your password doesn't work, and everybody that you were following is gone. And as an added little touch, the person who pulled this prank, I don't have to think of this as a prank. It's probably a crime, but I think prank sounds nice. So whoever did this prank had me follow one person, William Shatner. I like William Shatner. He's in one of my favorite Twilight Zones. He's all throughout my childhood. I saw him, and he's got an interesting sense of humor. Because Carrie said to me when we were doing Force Awakens, she said, "Oh, you ought to follow Bill Shatner. He's funny." That's good enough for me. If Carrie thinks he's funny, beep, I followed him. It's one little click. Within an hour, there was a screenshot of Mark Hamill follows you written, and he had added the message, a 4-word horror story. Welcome to the neighborhood. And I kind of went, huh? I mean, that sort of appeals to my sense of humor, but I'd like have to know you for you to, you know, shade me like that. So, I don't know. In fact, what happened was, time went on, you see, and before I learned to mute, eventually I was up to nearly 1,000. It's just crazy. I said I'm following people, and I thought, well, I should unfollow all the people that I don't know. And he was one of them. So when they refollowed him on my behalf, again, I saw it in the morning, and I go, I'm hacked. But I had other things I had to do, so I went away. And when I came back to it, he created quite a stir. I never thought I'd live in a world where the only person Mark Hamill followed, the only person Luke Skywalker is following, is Captain Kirk. And also, I got a response from him. He said, "You have some explaining to do, rebel scum." See, I suspect he wants a feud, a good old-fashioned showbiz feud. Because, like, they'll ask him, you know, what's the worst Star Trek movie ever made? And he wrote, "That's easy, Star Wars, a complete rip-off." Why, you? So that he's fun. All right, let's talk about Star Wars. What do you want to know? Look, I have my own little, this is great. It's like a little mini peanut gallery right here on the stage. What do you want to know? You want me to shout something out? I'll tell you something that really struck me was, and 38 years apart, you know, you all know that Skellig Michael is where we did the ending scene between Rey and Luke, and you climb, and when I read it, I said, green screen. It'll be up the street at JJ's Bad Robot Studio in Santa Monica. I'll be home by lunch. Alec Guinness did his entire part in either Empire or Jedi and took me to lunch across the street at the Italian restaurant. Finished.
Did you know? This morning I probably earned more than I did in my entirety of my career.
Boy, you deserve it! Big Al. He didn't like me calling him sir. I kept calling him sir, Sir Alex. Sir Alex.
What? I want to be known by my name, not my accolade.
Okay. What do I call you? Big Al. And also, too, whenever you want to say, you know, when the lady killers, oh my gosh, the man in the white suit. We were talking about Laurel and Hardy, and he said, you know, the man in the white suit, I wanted to do his voice, but he said he really based a lot of that character on Stan Laurel, on his innocence, and that sort of blank expression you could get on his face. But I thought it was mad. Wow, you know, Alec Guinness, you don't think of somebody that appreciates the low comedy that most people associate Laurel and Hardy with, but actors understand what good actors they were, timing-wise, and the fact that Stan was such a brilliant writer and director himself, and yet could, you know, make a face that made you believe he was a complete simpleton. But no, climbing the scale, there was a moment while I was standing on the cliff, and I love the visual pun of it being a cliffhanger on an actual cliff. No one liked the idea. I said, can I write to be continued on my forehead? I have lots of really terrible ideas that I'd love to share with you.